Top 5 tragic families in Black Myth Wukong. Which one has it the worst? Number 5, the Tiger Vanguard family. Let's talk about the Tiger Vanguard brothers from the Blood Pool and the Mad Tiger trapped in the well. These two were once siblings. Their father was the first-generation Tiger Vanguard serving under the Yellow Wind Sage. When tasked with capturing Tang Sanzang, he was slain by son Wukong. Not long after, the Yellow Wind Sage himself was subdued by Bodhisattva Lingji, leaving Yellow Wind Ridge leaderless. With their father gone, the Tiger brothers took charge of the remaining demons. The elder brother became a respected protector of the mountain, known as the Tiger God. Years passed, and when the Great Sage finally fell, the Yellow Wind Sage returned to reclaim Yellow Wind Ridge, leading a horde of rat demons. Seeking vengeance for his father, the younger tiger recklessly challenged the Yellow Wind Sage, only to be struck down by a decapitated bodhisattva head sent by the sage. To save his brother's life, the elder tiger had no choice but to submit, becoming the second-generation Tiger Vanguard. Feeling betrayed, the younger brother severed ties with him and hid in the well to recover, never to resurface. Meanwhile, the elder tiger, consumed by frustration and hatred, started feasting on rat demons in a fit of rage. 100 years passed. The elder tiger, lost in his bloodlust, became a true beast of terror, while the younger, driven mad by hatred, became the Mad Tiger. In the end, both brothers met their demise at the hands of the Destined One. The saddest part? When we travel back 100 years to the kingdom of Sahali and meet their father, the devoted first Tiger Vanguard, we can only mourn what fate has in store for him.
Such fierce staff work. You wield grand might. Brave soul, why not use this might to aid my king's good deed?
Number 4, the Spider Spirit family. In Black Myth Wukong, the 7 spider spirits are likely the legendary 7 celestial maidens. They were imprisoned in Pansilk Ridge by the Celestial Court, tasked with seducing demons to harvest will. Later, on the journey to the west, Beji slaughtered 6 of them, sparing only Violet Spider. To maintain the Will Factory, the Celestial Court replaced the lost ones with 5 new spirits. Why do the spider spirits look down on the Scorpion Lord's family? Because they were once celestial beings, of a different status altogether. But even deities are not free from exploitation. Bound by talismans, they are trapped here for eternity, waiting for outsiders to enter. Violet Spider waited endlessly for Beiji to acknowledge their daughter, yet she died without ever reuniting with him. The 4th sister awaited Wukong in every cycle, only to be taken by the Crane Immortal and refined into an elixir. The remaining sisters, witnessing their mother devoured by the 100-eyed Taoist master, dared not resist, merely watching as their family faded away. Again and again, the cycle repeats. Their fate is inescapable. In the end, they were nothing but tools.
You haven't changed a bit. You fool.
Third place, the Bull Demon King's family. After Wukong was defeated by the Buddha of the West, the Bull Demon King returned home, only to find that his wife, Princess Ironfan, was pregnant, forced to drink from the river of childbearing as punishment for his defiance. Outraged, the Bull Demon King lashed out against the Celestial Court. In the end, he had no choice but to submit to Buddhism. Later, for aiding in the destruction of Mount Huago, the Celestial Court allowed him to return to the Flaming Mountains, where he lived a quiet life with Princess Ironfan. But then, Red Boy returned to the Flaming Mountains, and everything changed. Years ago, the Yaksha clan was massacred overnight at Mount Lingshan. To sow discord, the celestial court sent Lao Tzu to manipulate the Yaksha king, forcing him to sacrifice his own son. That child was then reborn through Princess Iron Fan. Upon learning the truth of his origins, Red Boy confronted the Bull Demon King, demanding the great sage's relics to avenge his fallen clan. When his father refused, Red Boy turned on him, imprisoning him. Taking on the form of Ping Ping, he deceived Beiji and the Destined One along the way. But once the Bull Demon King saw through the ruse, Red Boy revealed his true form and clashed with the Destined One, feigning defeat. In the end, he seized the great sage's relics, became the new Yaksha king, only to be defeated once again by the Destined One. Desperate to save her son, Princess Iron Fan fell to her knees, begging the Destined One for mercy. Seeing his mother kneel, Red Boy was consumed by grief and rage and took his own life. As a father and husband, the Bull Demon King could only watch in agony as tragedy unfolded before him. His once proud family, tossed around by fate, ended up as mere pawns in the power struggle between the Celestial Court and Mount Lingshan. Rank 2. The Stone Family. The most innocent victims. The Father of Stones and his family were once the mountain deities of Yellow Wind Ridge, until fate cruelly tore them apart. Long ago, Father of Stones took in a human girl who had suffered abuse at the hands of her own family. But when her relatives came looking for her, threatening violence, the girl feared she would bring disaster upon him. She chose to leave on her own, only to fall from a cliff to her death. Devastated, Father of Stones carried her lifeless body to Flaming Mountain, begging Princess Iron Fan to bring her back. But she could do nothing. Her soul had already slipped away. Unwilling to accept this fate, Father of Stones remained at Flaming Mountain, waiting, hoping, until he was mistakenly slain by the Destined One. Back home, the Stone Mother grew anxious when her husband didn't return. She passed half her power to their young son, Son of Stones, urging him to go find his father. But the poor child, still undeveloped and clueless, got lost the moment he stepped out. Left powerless, Stone Mother was ambushed and killed by the greedy Keeper. When the Destined One arrived at Yellow Wind Ridge, he fell for the Keeper's lies and mercilessly struck down the weakened Stone Mother in her own cave. Meanwhile, the lost Son of Stones wandered all the way to Mount Huaguo, never realizing his parents were already gone. In the end, he too met a tragic fate, falling victim to the Destined One's staff. Against an unstoppable XP farming machine, what could they do? This family of three never stood a chance, truly the most unjust deaths of them all. Number 1. The tragic fall of the King of Flowing Sands. The King of Flowing Sands had 3 sons. The eldest was brave and fearless. The second possessed immense strength. The youngest was skilled in both martial and scholarly arts. But who would have thought that this once prosperous kingdom would fall into ruin? All because of a few choices made by the king. At the time, Buddhism was flourishing. The king, fearing his authority would be threatened, launched a campaign to eradicate Buddhism. But this act angered Mount Lingshan, which sent a giant insect, Fuban, to wreak havoc. The eldest son, Shadalang, led the army to fight back, earning the title of General of Bravery. But Fuban possessed unstoppable divine power. No matter how many times they tried, they couldn't kill it. It kept returning, bringing chaos. With no other choice, the king rebuilt the temples and crafted a golden Buddha statue, hoping to appease Mount Lingshan. But they completely ignored him. Just when the king was in despair, Yellow Wind Sage happened to pass by and effortlessly defeated Fuban. Grateful beyond words, the king appointed Yellow Wind Sage as the national master and went a step further. He destroyed the Buddha statues and started worshipping rats instead. The ancient kingdom was renamed Kingdom of Sahali. The third son, disgusted by a Yaoguai ruling the nation, left in anger. The eldest son, who also opposed his father, was thrown into prison. Years passed. When he was finally released, he found everyone had turned into rats, even himself. Years later, Yellow Wind Sage returned with an army of rat demons. The king, longing to rebuild his kingdom, found that the son of Tiger Vanguard had become the new tiger god, ruling the land. Yellow Wind Sage didn't want to get involved, so he exiled the king to a remote village. There, the king suffered under the ruthless rule of the tiger god, enduring endless massacres, waiting for Yellow Wind Sage to emerge from seclusion. But what he got instead was a destined one, looking for experience points. The village was slaughtered, his second son was slain, and the king barely escaped. With no other choice, he broke the seal on his eldest son using his own blood, hoping he would fight back. But after years of suffering, the eldest had lost all reason. He devoured his own father in one bite. Thus, the once proud royal family was no more. Only the youngest son remained, his whereabouts unknown.